In my dream, I followed an older lady with short hair as she competed in a team against other teams of 3 to 4 people. I followed her as someone would follow their favorite character from a reality TV show. They barely survived through the harshness of a wilderness much like that which was depicted in the movie The Grey. By the end of it, the elements had taken their toll, and her cheeks were worn dry like leather, while the rest of her body was covered by heavy clothing. Barely surviving the harsh challenges of the environment, her and her crew stepped aboard a mountain trolley and began riding it as the last step to getting home, to surviving. I should note that though I said this was like watching a reality TV show, that is not what it was. No one was watching. There wasn't a video crew or a medic crew waiting nearby. These people were not aware of anyone keeping an eye on them. They were just trying to survive. My job in the dream was simply to witness the struggles of this every woman in her 40s become the protagonist in my view. There were a few trolleys before hers, all of which donned a crew of other survivors escaping death by natural causes, awaiting the finish line at the end when they got off, which, no doubt, would be met with warm blankets and the best hot chocolate the world has to offer. While suspended miles from Earth, with the cliff and paradise just a few hundred yards away, there were cliffs jutting from the main, and they were almost close enough that you could jump onto the trolleys from them. On these cliffs were faceless men. As the first trolley came up to the first cliff, a man from the jutted cliff did not hesitate, pulled out a makeshift flamethrower, and proceeded to burn everyone in the trolley alive. Their screams, as harsh as they were, weren't such a horrifying observation as the fire, smoke plumes, and the smell that the devastation left. One person jumped from the trolley, becoming a roaring fireball racing to the earth below. And no one said anything. They just looked on in horror. They were on their last leg at the end of the rope, and all their energy had been spent surviving to this point. My protagonist watched the next trolley drown to death in a waterfall of fire, and her face was the purest definition of horror. I don't know if she was scared stiff or simply lacked the energy to move. On to the next trolley. The trolley before hers was up, and as the men filled the cart with boiling gasoline, she could feel the heat on her face, and it was at this moment that she tried to make sense of life, and it felt to her as if that was going nowhere. So she decided to give in to the comfort of the heat and embrace that which is to come. Instead of making sense of all the struggle of life, she found it less mentally stressful and less mentally exhausting to simply convince herself that the heat feels good, and she comforted herself in knowing that peace would soon be here. She burned like the rest. There's no significant difference. The trolleys moved on, and I awoke.